I like how you said gently massage the bottom of the pan.
I don't think I said massage. I think I said rub. But
I thought you said, didn't you say something about massage oil?
Yeah, that's...
Cigarette.
Good morning and welcome to an early episode of Whipped Cream Salmon. I am your host, Ronnie Sanchez. Joined with me, as always, my co-host, Brian Bastanza.
I'm Brian.
He's Brian. And together we are Whipped Cream Salmon.
Yeah.
Filming early on a Saturday morning.
It's pretty fun.
It's pretty fun.
I crack the window open a little bit.
Yeah, I got my window open. Coming at you live with some bedhead. Brian's still rubbing the dust out of his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And
at 9:30. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, it's the weekend. You boys got to sleep in someday.
Agreed. Saturday morning is the time to do that.
Yeah, and I did sleep in longer than I typically do on the weekend. Woke up at, I don't know, I woke up about the same time that you messaged me this morning. So I kind of woke up like, oh shit, what time is it? And then as I was looking at my phone, I think you messaged me. So,
we're lined up. We're linked up like that.
Yeah, it's not, when I say sleep in, it's not like when I was sleeping in, back in the day and prime of, cooking at PJ's when I was, get home at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning after work and a night out, and then sleeping in till like 1:30 and your shift is at 2. So.
Yeah. Or either like sleep until noon on your day off, still go out and get a couple turns in.
Yeah. I remember I missed a meeting at work one time. It was like a 1 o'clock meeting. And I missed the meeting because I slept through it.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, I think it was my day off otherwise, and I was coming in to go to a meeting. But yeah, I slept through it.
Yeah. They can't make you do that.
Yeah.
They got to be on that Zoom shit now, right? Let me do that remote meeting now.
It's not a good look when you miss your 1 o'clock meeting because you were still asleep.
Yeah, but you're probably up with all those people anyway.
That's true. That's true. Oh, God.
Yeah.
So, had you in town earlier this week. We went out and got some Szechuan food. I know we've talked a little bit about it on the pod. And, I was excited when you messaged me asking if I wanted to go out for Szechuan because I've been wanting to take you for a long time.
Yeah, I was excited to go for sure. And it was awesome. And yeah, it was not like a typical Chinese experience that I've had in the States at all, which is
totally
awesome.
Different. Totally different.
And again, I understand why people would be confused.
Right.
Right. Because it's not even, is it even say like Szechuan on it? Just the name of the restaurant, right? And then like if you look in the fine print.
Yeah, the restaurant was called Taipei 101.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we Chinese cuisine on Yelp or whatever, right? It's just like
right.
Yeah.
And we were talking about like how it's kind of silly that people think Chinese and you only think a very small number of dishes. Your beef and broccoli, your kung pao chicken, your orange chicken, whatever, things like that. But I mean, China is a massive country. And just like the United States, food varies region to region. You go down to Florida, South Florida, you're going to have Cuban food. You go to Texas, you're going to have, brisket barbecue. You go to the Northeast, you're going to have, clam chowder and lobster. You go to the West Coast, avocados and whatever else they have. Everything else they got there. So, it only makes sense that there are obviously different cuisines throughout China.
Sure.
So it's cool to to be able to experience that. It is strange still to me that Raleigh, for some reason, is like it's like hard to find decent, uh, like standard American Chinese food, but the Szechuan game is on point. So
Yeah, it's like everything and like the standard American Chinese food is everything that would be on Panda Express, right? Like that menu,
right,
which like probably isn't even Chinese food at all anyway. And a lot of it, like this is like it's definitely better than that. Even if that's done well, that's like still like a watered down version of the thing. It's like we were talking a couple weeks ago about like the tour of Italy, like the Olive Garden. Like that's like yeah, it's not it's not Italian food. It's something.
right.
It's a watered down version of it. But yeah, this was, and I'm sure this is a little not the same as what you would have in China either,
Yeah, probably.
right? I mean, that's just the nature of like having different ingredients in different parts of the world and different cultures and different parts of the world. And taking this idea and some things that, even the Szechuan, like, so that Americans will be excited to eat it. Because I'm sure there's some shit that Americans wouldn't be that excited to eat, but like because of tradition and culture, like are prominent on different dinner tables.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. What what were some of your favorite dishes from that meal?
Mm,
Because we ordered the whole menu.
yeah. Um, those sautéed or wok fried green beans were fire,
Crazy.
fire,
They're so
fire.
good.
And they like blister on the outside and like this, so they look really cool. Really garlicky.
They're called dry fried green beans, and I have tried to make them at home before, and I don't think that I've quite gotten close. I think that the idea is you blanch them, and then you are throwing it into the wok like without any
Oil.
added oil. I'm
Oh,
see. I'm not 100% sure. Then the blistering they get on them is crazy
yeah.
because the beans stay like super crunchy and fresh, and then they're like the skin on the green bean is like crispy and blistered. And it's really nice.
Yeah, really nice, super garlicky. That
Hmm.
dish is awesome for sure.
And it's like so flavorful, but it doesn't. There's like not that much on it.
Yeah,
It's they maybe hit it with like a splash of like Shaoxing wine and like maybe a little bit of soy, and then other than that, it's like the garlic and like really finely chopped mushrooms. I've looked it up online, and it's also done with like ground pork. Um, but even then, the ground pork is almost like a seasoning on the green beans. It's just kind of an interesting way to spin it. Like it's not like sausage with green beans, or I mean pork with green beans. It's like green beans with like seasoned with pork. It's
right,
like a very
totally.
small amount of it on it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a cool dish. We had that scallion pancake with short rib and hoisin. That was like pretty
Yeah,
awesome. It was just kind of like um, yeah, it was like a crispy scallion pancake with like almost like a layer of short rib in there, and then with some hoisin. It was still a delicious snack. Yeah,
really
but
thin.
yeah, really thin piece of short rib. Yeah. Um, I mean, the whole thing was kind of like just a little bundle. It was good. The main kind of thing that we had was chicken griddle. Is that what it's called, basically?
Yeah, they call it griddled chicken, which I don't
Yeah,
really understand. I've seen in other places. Every place they call it something different, but they call it griddled chicken. It's clearly deep fried. At least parts of it are. So
yeah,
I don't know. Um, but yeah, that's a good one.
yeah. I mean, it probably ends up in the wok, or maybe it is cooked on like a flat top or something, like a hibachi style kind of flat top or something. And it has like really like ton of spices. Like we were talking at dinner, like the cumin is like so strong in that cuisine, which like I don't associate with Chinese food at all. Um, Other spices as well. Obviously the Szechuan peppercorns for sure give you that like kind of like numbing feeling. Those little
Hmm.
nummies. That's pretty cool. Um, Yeah,
But yeah, and
and
that dish
oh, and
is
the
like,
taro root and stuff.
yeah, it's not taro root, it's
It's not taro
lotus
root.
root.
Lotus root.
Yeah, it's these like
That's
slices
right.
of lotus root, which if you don't know, have like if you cut them, into like coins, they've got this like really cool like sort of like a snowflake pattern, with like air pockets inside of it. And so when they fry them up, they got like really interesting texture. There's lots of surface area and like corners and stuff, so they got nice like craggly, crunchy bits all throughout. And then so it's like the lotus root, and it's kind of similar texture to a potato, a little bit firmer than a potato,
Mm-hmm.
but
It's
um,
starchy like that. Yeah.
yeah. So it's got the lotus root, potato, chopped onions, and the chicken, obviously. And yeah, it's a really fun dish. They bring it out in this like big ass pan, kind of like a paella pan, all piled high with all the good stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's
Yeah, it's
fun.
fire. Yeah, great time. Also, did you have anything else to say about dinner?
No, I just love food. It's
Yeah,
good to good
me
to have
too.
you there.
Yeah. No, and also I was going to just say that like I had an opportunity to go down and hang out with Ronnie in the kitchen down there at the cafe,
Yeah,
which is
that's
pretty
right.
fun. Um, Came down, drank a beer, met some people there, met the owner. Offered me a job, so starting that pretty soon. Um, um, yeah, no, it's great. It actually like it made me jealous a little bit.
Being in the kitchen,
A little bit. I just like love like I don't know. It's
it's just comfortable, right?
well the kitchen's cool. Like just having like a staff there that like is all like kind of moving in the same direction and I don't know. The environment just is really exciting to me. And
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, I feel like I like again like quick conversation with your dishwasher. What's her name? She's so sweet.
Yuri. She's not really the dishwasher. I'm
She's a
I'm
line
probably
cook.
more of the dishwasher than she is, to be honest.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's just we don't have a designated dishwasher, but yeah, Yuri is awesome. She just started recently.
Gotcha. And I love that. But like I was also like, oh, like we speak the same language or we like give off the same like it's really easy in those environments to vibe with people. I don't know what it is, or maybe it's something that's broken with me outside of those environments more so.
Yeah,
But there's just something about it that like we're like, oh yeah, like we've all done this stuff. We've all taken out a million trashes. Like we um, know that we can count on each other to do things and help each other out. And one of the things that she mentioned was how this was one of her favorite kitchens because of how much of that there was and how much you're all trying to do the same thing and there's not like a lot of drama that goes on with it because that can happen too, right? And especially
sure.
like yeah, there's definitely some unstable kitchens out there and I've been a part of some of them as well, but yeah, it just seems like a solid crew of people all trying to move into the same direction.
Yeah, yeah. Not that is untrue, but she's definitely still very much in the honeymoon phase of starting a new job. So
Sure.
no, I mean it is a good place. Yeah, and it's a small kitchen, but like we do a lot there. I mean, that place alone, maybe isn't like the busiest restaurant, although the last few days we got pretty busy. Um, but we just have a lot going on between like supporting the other restaurant, soon to be like two other ones, and then lots of catering stuff that's just like always coming through. So, yeah, we're just got a lot going on there. It's definitely a lot to balance. But no,
What's
it's a fun kitchen. It was cool having you in there. And yeah, you're right. I mean, I took a number of years off from being in the kitchen, but then you walk back in that environment and like, you get your first couple tickets and you're like, it's like riding a bike. You don't forget that shit. Like you know exactly what to do. Like you're right back in it,
sure.
and it's like, I don't know, it just feels comfortable.
Sometimes finding the place where it's going to work out for you can be really tough too, and because like I said, you can be in tougher situations or better situations, and finding that balance of I don't know, small teams can be great, but a lot of times, often with small teams, that like if it's a small operation, then there's less money coming in, and therefore like it can be harder to like to grow within that place. I've noticed that a lot with all sorts of companies, right?
Yeah.
Um, this, but like, yeah, and finding out where you want to sit on that spectrum from like, oh, you can also work out like a business that has a ton of employees and has a lot of structure, and with that comes like a lot of bureaucracy in some ways, some good, some stuff makes it hard to work in that environment. And yeah, I think that's a pretty good spot, especially like since you're able to do what you're doing in the cafe, but also like do the catering stuff. Um, that's pretty cool. Yeah, what
Yeah.
tell me more about like the catering operation. Like is it within the business park for the most part, or is it like also like offsite whatever, like weddings and stuff like that ever, or
Yeah, actually, we do have a wedding.
you have a
It's
website?
actually our owner's brother. It's coming up. It's on the weekend. I think March 31st potentially. We're actually doing a bunch of like Asian stuff for them.
Oh, I'm coming,
Um,
dude. Let's
yeah, I mean,
go.
you probably can. Honestly, um, yeah, we like sent over a menu of like just some catering stuff that we already had built out. A lot of times we'll do for like the business parks, we do like a taco bar, like a Mediterranean bar, like kind of just like buffet. And so we sent him some of that, and then what we got back was like bulgogi tacos and like all these different things, which I'm like down for. But then I kind of got the vibe. I was like, I don't know if they really actually want tacos as much as they're like want a bunch of different like Asian shit. So I'm gonna make like some pork belly bao buns, and then gonna
Oh,
do like a bulgogi taco, like air quotes, um, and then I don't know, just we're gonna have fun with it. We got a bunch of duck confit in the freezer that I've been trying to get rid of, so we're gonna do some duck fried rice. Um, so that'll be dope.
hell yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, a lot of
Where's it held?
it's in Chapel Hill. I think it's like at a farm up there. So
And you'll like cook on site or off site?
I think it's gonna be a little bit of both. They don't have a kitchen. I'm gonna bring my camp chef actually,
Yeah.
a little like 2 burner stove out there, and maybe just use that to like steam the buns. Um, Kind of minimal, like
How many people?
it's like 40 people.
Yeah, still, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, it also will be for like past apps, so I don't have to put out 45 bao buns at the same time. Like cycle them out
Mm-hmm.
with like some mixed other things, and keep it moving. Um, but yeah, I'm probably gonna get one of those like I don't know, 3-tiered like stainless steel steamer baskets. I think they're like aluminum actually. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you know what I'm talking about. They got
Yeah.
all the different layers.
Our crazy lady in Bangkok, that's what she had.
Yeah, she had a
Yeah.
huge one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I want one that big, but um, yeah, I mean, do a few different things out there. I think it'll be fun. So
That's cool. And dinner too?
yeah, yeah,
Like
that'll be like the quote unquote taco bar that we'll be putting out. We're gonna do some like sirdahi tacos, and then the bulgogi taco, and then
buffet? Or is it
I think so. I don't know. We've kind of like gone back and forth if we're doing like a buffet or like gonna build these things out. So, um, but yeah, we could probably use your hands out there. It'd be fun.
Dude, I'd love to participate and get involved on some weekend shit for sure. I think it's awesome.
Okay.
Because I've you know how I've said that I've like wanted to dip my toes in, but like I just like also have this part of me that's like it's hard for me to commit to like
Very
every
hard.
fucking Friday, Saturday night. Like that's just with a full-time job during the week, that's just like hard for me to commit to.
Yeah, you should
Um
find like a caterer or something in the area.
yeah. Yeah, something like
Be
that.
like hit me up, and I'm a free agent. I can jump in every once in a while. But
Yeah, for sure.
that
No,
way you're like
I
not
should.
actually committed to anything.
Right. I need to like have a yeah, it's like instead of like looking on like Indeed, I need to just like pick out the best catering company and just have a conversation with a person in real life, you know? Cuz
Yeah, just
yeah,
hit them up.
for sure.
Yeah. And then to answer the rest of the question about the like catering, a lot of what we do is these like lunch boxes, or it's just like, you know, built out a salad or a sandwich, goes with like a side of chips and a house made cookie boxed up. And then we'll send those over to um, the facility that we're going to be moving into. Like, I guess they have hiring events all the time. So some days they're like, we need 5 of these. Some days it's like, we need 25. So we're constantly like building those things out, and then they've got meetings all the time, and they kind of just ask for whatever they want. So it's like for a while it was like, you know, a bowl of like cut fruit and I don't know, like pastries, like boxes of pastries, and then and then we'll get like their catering order, and it's like veggies and dip. It's like, okay, well, like we don't really, we've never offered that before, but yeah, I guess I can make a veggie and dip platter. And then a couple of weeks ago, we get one that's like a cheese plate. I'm like, okay, like I guess we can order in some cheeses. So I have been like working on getting a like a more of a structured catering menu built out so that they can like actually just choose from these things. You know, it's just the way that our relation with them has been like formed from the beginning. I think that we've just kind of given them whatever they've asked for, but I mean, you got to put some boundaries up at some point. They can't just be like, oh, and we want a pizza party on Friday. It's like, I don't have a pizza oven here. So like I can't really like help you with everything that you're asking for.
Yeah, totally. I think it's a hard like balance to find because I think that every operation faces that at some point, you know, because like whoever's like doing the sales portion, like they're like responding to someone who needs an event and that's their job to, you know, add events to the schedule, right?
Yeah.
Um, and then they get there to the thing and then they're like, well, can you make a cheese plate? And it's it's hard to at that point say like no we can't make a cheese plate but like
Yeah.
the way to counter that is to fully like have it like you're saying it's like have a structured menu that they can pick off of that is large enough to accommodate what most people aren't like you probably like want to have a cheese plate and like crudité on that banquet menu
Yeah.
but you want to control the narrative as opposed to like letting whoever is sitting down at the table dream up some scenario. You'd be like, oh, like I kind of like cheese plates. And then you'd be like, oh, well, this is the cheese plate that we offer. It has these 4 cheeses on it and it comes with these, you know, and they're like, oh, that's great. Then you like sold them the thing that you were trying to sell them as opposed to like, fuck, I don't have a cheese plate. Yeah, we'll do one. And yeah, you know, oh, and I really like this cheese and this cheese. And then like they're deciding what you're going to have to order and buy. But you don't know that like whoever's doing the sales, like they don't know the cost of those things when like
No.
when the person who's buying the event is like, oh yeah, I like this like crazy you know, truffle tremor cheese. And then you get back and you find out that it's fucking $35 a pound. Like, and the only way you can make money on that plate is to like have 1 ounce of it or whatever it is, or to lose money. You wind up losing money on that plate.
Yep.
So yeah, having it needs to be like big, like a lot of times it has to be big. And there will always be like some compromises that have to happen at that table to sell another event. But like I think a lot of that can be mitigated
Yep.
up front, you know, by just like having a thorough production.
Yep. Yeah. 100%. Just yeah. It's getting through the. Well, you know, I mean, it's not like we set out to become a catering company.
Sure.
You know, it just kind of happened organically, and then you, as a small business, you have these opportunities and people are asking for things and they're wanting to pay you for them. So you pretty quickly become a catering company. You know, it's like, you know, Mr. Krabs. And he was like, someone called and ordered a pizza. He's like, we don't make pizza. I was like, well, now we do. And you got the Krusty Krab pizza.
Yeah. SpongeBob was
Remember that?
pissed or what?
Remember? No, he was excited. He was singing.
Oh,
Krusty Krab pizza is the pizza for you and me.
hmm.
Krusty Krab. remember that?
I
Remember that episode?
don't know that I know that
You know who
episode.
was pissed?
Squidward.
Squidward.
Yeah, Squidward's
Yeah,
always pissed.
they had to go on a long delivery.
What about Plankton?
Plankton. I
Remember
mean, he's always
Plankton?
kind of pissed, right?
Yeah, I mean he's trying to take over Bikini Bottom at a minimum, if not the world. I'm pretty sure.
Ravioli, give me the formioli.
You really know your SpongeBob history.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he was one of the first chefs I ever looked up to. So,
Mm-hmm. Krabby Patty. What's on a Krabby Patty? It's crab?
that's right. I don't believe it's crab, but I cannot confirm nor deny. It's a secret formula.
Beef?
I don't know. It's hard to
Water buffalo?
Maybe it's water buffalo. That's a good guess. Yeah, beef is hard to source under the sea
Yeah, probably.
in Bikini Bottom.
You're about to go on a Japan trip.
Yeah, we booked our Japan trip. We're going April 2nd to the 16th.
Yeah, let's go.
Hell yeah.
Ronnie, Rochelle.
Yeah, we the kitchen project got delayed a little bit. Initially, we were planning on November, but since the project got delayed, it gives us a little bit less time to like get that place up and running and established. It's going to be, who knows what November is going to look like once we're in there. Could definitely be more chaotic than what I have going on right now. Also, we have kind of a lot of labor right now because we brought people in anticipation of us not being at our current location because we're moving. So it just kind of seemed like the perfect time to do it now, get it out of the way.
Like, not getting it out of the way. I mean,
yeah. I mean, getting
making it sound like it's
no,
it's going to be super laborious to go to Japan for 2
getting
weeks.
it out of their way.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I know what it's like when a restaurant is slow and you have to take time out, take time off to just help the restaurant. So people who want to be there will work, which is awesome. But you want to go on vacation, and it's a win-win.
it helps. I mean, I'm salaried, so it doesn't help the restaurant financially for me. But
Gotcha.
not right now, but it will help some other people get hours that are kind of cut back on hours right now. That helps the cooks, but really what it helps is that I'm taking this time now instead of when we are potentially really busy. So yeah. I don't know. I'm fired up. It was kind of like a quick turnaround. It's like 28 days out that we booked our trip. So it could have been as early as March 18th, which was just too soon. I was like looking at tickets and I was finding some good deals, but when you're planning a trip that close, like you look at something one day and you're like, okay, those tickets are good. Let me talk to the rest of the crew and see how everybody feels. And then next day you look at it and the tickets are up like $300 from what they were.
Like, fuck. Yeah, it's too close. Yeah.
So, and also flights, or the seats on those flights are filling up. You're like stuck in like the middle seat and you can't sit together because there's no seats available. So,
yeah, which if you're getting those tickets for cheaper, maybe worth it. If it's just because you don't have that much time to get your tickets, probably that sucks. Yeah, and you're still paying for full price for that thing. Yeah, that's kind of beat.
Not great, but no, found tickets for a decent price. Got our first 5 nights at least booked in Tokyo, and then gonna move around the city or around the country a little bit. They got the bullet train that takes you around. So I was just talking to Brian before we started recording. I really want to go to a Japanese baseball game. It just
Ooh.
looks like so much fun.
Yeah.
So
You'll be chanting. Yeah, you'll be the tallest person there. You'll be bigger than the players. You will be.
I just want to be involved. Yeah, let me just be part of it.
Ronnie, you're 6'3"?
6'4".
6'4"?
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna love you.
Yeah, for 2 weeks I was the tallest person in Thailand, so
Mm-hmm.
although I don't know, I've seen there's some big Japanese guys. Shohei would make me look real small.
Is he tall?
He's huge.
Probably.
I don't know. Even if he's shorter than me, he's still bigger than me. The guy is a big man.
For sure. Yeah. I wonder how much things like just because because the videos and stuff that I see of Tokyo, like there's a lot of like little compact alleyways and such, right? And like
Yeah.
I wonder how many things you notice are like, oh, this is not designed for me.
Well, I mean, walking around Bangkok, I was like ducking under power lines and like
Sure.
street signs and all kinds of stuff the whole time. So, yeah, no, I definitely felt that. I mean, I kind of just experienced that a lot, anyways. But
Less so in North Carolina.
yeah, I mean, but there are certain things that like I
Got a
don't know,
duck.
like
Yeah.
like shops will like hang things up in there, and you're like, well, that's just not like apartments will have say like a lamp or like I guess a chandelier, but not like not a crystal chandelier, just some kind of a light fixture, I should say, some kind of dangling light fixture from the ceiling. We have one in our house, and without the table there, it's like hits me like in the chin. It's way too low,
Sure.
So the first thing I did when I moved in here was raise that thing up. Yeah, that's just part of my life. It's a personal problem. The thing about Tokyo is the hotel rooms are all super tiny.
Yeah.
They have those capsule hotels, which we're not staying in. And if you don't know what a capsule hotel is, it's like a dog house for a person, and it's like hallways with these capsules on either side, and I think each one is like temperature controlled, and but it's only for you to like lay in. Yeah, I mean, I think there's enough room where you can like sit up in it, or at least like halfway sit up, but yeah, it's just a bed. You just crawl in there and go to sleep.
Is that cheap?
Is cool. I think some of them can be, but I don't think they're like that cheap.
Huh.
Now, I'm not sure if they would even be long enough for me, but if I was, in my 20s and I wasn't traveling with Rochelle, I think I would be down. You only get in your hotel to sleep in. I want to be out in the city doing stuff.
Right.
So far I've only seen bed offerings as double, and each one has their option. It's like, would you like two twins or the double? So they're just pushing the two twins together.
Sure.
Depending on what you're asking for. So I mean, it'll be fine. My feet will be hanging off the bed. That's all.
You're gonna do so great. I'm so proud of you.
Great. Thanks.
Yeah.
I wish you were coming.
You're gonna wear your little indoor slippers.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably sit on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of chairless people.
They are chairless people. I don't have a chairless back. Let me tell you that.
Yeah. A lot of stools.
I might
see a lot of stools in Japan.
I do desire back support. So maybe I'll bring my back brace with me.
Yeah. Maybe bring a little camping chair everywhere you go.
Yeah, like one of those those folding like the stadium like cushions, or just like two pieces of foam that they have like a strap between them, so you get a little bit of back support.
Yeah, I like that.
It's not a bad idea.
Maybe you should just get one like that attaches to your body, so you just
like those exoskeleton legs where you can just sit on command, where you just sit down and the legs lock in a sitting position. Have you seen this?
No.
I don't know what the practical use case is, or who's actually buying these things, but they're like these exoskeleton like leg suit that when you sit, the knees will just like lock, so you can you can just sit anywhere.
That's what we do to progress technology.
Yeah,
Okay, that's a
yeah.
good
Sit
use of
anywhere.
time. Yeah,
No chair required.
yeah. I mean, yeah, if it's dirty on the ground, then that helps.
Yeah, it does. Oh gosh.
Have you have you been doing a bunch of research?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where to go after Tokyo. What we want to do, because we're flying into Tokyo and flying out of Osaka. So definitely want to do Kyoto. Kyoto and Osaka are fairly close. Want to see the in between, which way we want to go. We go north or stay south, like towards Mount Fuji. So undecided. If anyone has
Nice.
any tips,
Ooh, hit us up.
hit us up.
whippedcreamsalmon@gmail.com. Tell Ronnie where
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah, tell me where to go.
Did you pick a district in Tokyo to stay in?
Yeah, so we're staying. I'm kind of excited about this. We got two different hotels in Tokyo. The first one is on the eastern side of Tokyo, like of the center of Tokyo, near like Shibuya and Shinjuku. It's like really popular where you've seen like the Shibuya crossing, that like crazy like intersection where there's just like thousands of people crossing in every which direction. Not quite into that madness, a little bit separated from that, but still really close to the train station, so we'll be able to get around super easily. And then the second half of our Tokyo stay will be more on the eastern side. And I'm really excited about this. There is a street in Tokyo called Kappabashi Street, and it's all like kitchenware. So tons of like knife shops and anything kitchen related, pots, pans, dishes, you know, plateware, whatever. All that stuff will be over there. So
Cool.
I'm definitely looking to grab a couple of knives in
Cool.
Tokyo.
Would like a chef knife or other things? What are you thinking?
Maybe I have a couple chef knives. I was kind of thinking something maybe a little smaller. I don't have a petty knife, so I would like a nice petty knife. Would be
Petty
fun.
knife? What is that?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a little bit larger than a paring knife. Maybe like
Okay. Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
3-inch blade, something like that, 3.5 inch. Just good for small work, like strawberries and things of that nature.
Shallots.
Yeah,
Stuff like
yeah,
that.
really good for
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we'll see what I find. I might
Yeah.
just become enamored with something.
Yeah, totally. Let it come to you a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the knife shops there. I wonder if I can just get them to ship it back, so I don't have to check my bags. Either that, or maybe I just have to find a post office and box them up, ship them.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure you can ship things obviously easily, but I know that. Yeah. I mean, it's really, but you don't have to fly once you're there, right? It's just flying back. So it makes it a little easier, probably.
Yeah, a little bit easier. But if I can avoid checking a bag is the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Check your bag, and you gotta wait for your bag afterwards. Standing around for like 45 minutes for them to unload the plane.
And you just don't have your shit.
Yeah, and there's always a question like, oh boy, I hope my bag comes. And every time there's like a handful of people that are like, fuck, my bag didn't make it. And then you have to go to like the customer service desk, and they're like waiting for your shit.
Yeah.
Like, okay, leave your address. We'll send it to you.
Again, though, like much better on the way home than on the way there. Where like if you get there and you don't have anything, then you're a little effed.
Yeah.
You don't have clothes to wear. Going back, at least like you're gonna end up at your house and you'll have things.
No, I've heard so many stories about, a bunch of guys like going on a golf trip. They all fly out somewhere, and like, one of them, their clubs didn't arrive. It's like, I'm on a week-long golf trip. That I've been planning and like saving for a long time now. I got to rent clubs that
Sure.
aren't my own. They're not fitted for me, whatever. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks not having any, or you don't have any clothes. You have whatever you're wearing, and you have that for like the next 4 days until they find your shit.
Or you got to go, yeah. Because I feel like, again, for 6'4" people, finding clothes in Tokyo, probably not the easiest thing to do. There's some big and
No,
tall stores or whatever, I'm sure, but
it wasn't easy in Thailand. I'll tell you that. I looked around. That on the streets they got like a lot of vendors selling like fake shoes and stuff. Nikes and whatever, all kinds of like knockoff stuff. And to a lot of people, they'd be like calling out to them like, "Come on, buy shoes, buy shoes." A lot of it's like these like Indian guys, and they're just like really trying to get you into their shop. And when we were in Thailand, I'd just be like, point at my feet, be like, "My feet are too big." I don't. one of them, he had like some like knockoff Yeezys, and he was like, "Oh, I have a 13," and he goes and like grabs some ugly ass pair of Yeezys, and I was like, "Nah, man, I'm good on those. I'm good." He was like, "All right."
sure.
So it was actually nice because you see some people get sucked into it pretty hard, and they're like, try this one on, try this one on. They could like keep pulling out all kinds of different shoes. And then a lot of people, I think, feel obligated to buy something at that point. You're like haggling with this shop owner that you don't even want what they're selling. They just get you in their high pressure situation. People fold.
Yeah, it's much better to just like not go in than it is to like get yourself into that conversation where you
Definitely.
I'm out.
out.
I mean, and there's no shame in that either.
Yeah.
To be like, I'm out.
Should we get into our idiot sandwiches?
What are you? Idiot.
You stupid idiot!
I'm an idiot sandwich.
You're an idiot!
Of all the idiots, you stand alone.
Idiot sandwich.
Idiot sandwich. Today we find out who will earn their place between two slices of bread.
I'm reading this article here. The article is called 10 Hilarious Cooking Disasters You'll Never Forget by John Simon. And I'm just going to read one of them because I think it's awesome. My mother-in-law is an amazing cook, so I was determined to impress her. I invited her and my husband's family over for dinner and decided to make my famous lasagna. When I pulled it out of the oven, it looked perfect. But my mother-in-law took one glance and burst into laughter and then pulled out her own lasagna saying, "I brought a backup just in case," which is hilarious, obviously. That's when I realized I had forgotten to cook the pasta sheets. Each bite was like chewing on cardboard.
Oh, shit.
How crazy is that to have your mother-in-law be like, "I thought you were going to fuck this up, so
Yeah.
I brought one anyway."
God.
The lasagna you said you were going to make, I banked on you fucking that up, so I made a good one here. It's cold-blooded, but
Very.
it worked out.
Oh, they don't think very highly of them, obviously.
And yeah, and she was right to think that.
She was right.
So congratulations on your sandwich, Miss Dry Pasta.
Miss Dry Pasta. Way to go. My idiot sandwich, I cannot remember which cook this was. This was at Plumjack, and in our, I think it was our last episode, I was talking about the waffle maker, and I was talking about like a cleaning technique where you can throw your pan on the burner on high, and you put a bunch of salt in the pan, and it'll pull up like a lot of like the built up carbon and stuff like that gets on the pans. And while seasoning your pan is important, also every once in a while they need a good cleaning. So you can do this with cast iron. At Plumjack we had, I think they're like called blue steel pans, which is similar in feel to a cast iron, but just a heavy, robust pan. And so when you're using them in a commercial setting, I mean, they build up a lot of carbon and whatnot. So every once in a while they need a good cleaning. So one of the cooks, he was cleaning up some of his pans, and he had a bunch of salt in the pan, and things ripping on high. And typically, when you take it off the burner, you take the salt and you pour it into preferably a metal pan of some kind to cool. And I don't know what he was thinking, but he just turned to the trash and and dumped the salt straight into the trash. And it was just, ripping hot salt, obviously melted straight through the trash can.
Through the bottom of the trash bag can.
I think some of it definitely made it through the bottom of the can. But yeah, like as soon as it hit the bag and all the contents, lots of plastic wrap and whatever else was in there, it just started smoking like crazy, and it just burned straight through the bottom.
Could be a fire for sure.
Like, I think if I remember correctly, somebody turned around and they took their like Sani bucket or something and quickly like dumped that into it with it, so minimized the damage, definitely kept it from catching fire or anything like that. But idiot sandwich, really fucking dumb, but just obviously not thinking in the moment, so yeah, don't pour molten hot salt into the trash can. I have an idea of which cook it was, but I don't want to say his name because I'm not sure if it was him or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you dodged a bullet there. Salt in trash can.
Even though I'm pretty sure it was you.
Yeah.
Just know. I think it was you.
I know.
Now it's time for the whipped cream sandwich school for cooks that don't cook good.
How do you do it? Let me hit you with some knowledge.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for.
Yeah, let's learn some shit.
Let's learn shit.
School bus is here.
Beep, beep.
I wanted to just touch on something that you were just talking about, which is knives. And
oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, just if you like find yourself pretty interested in cooking, I mean, if you listen to this podcast, like you're probably interested enough in cooking, and I think investing in a good knife is the next way to like level up. Because I mean, you can get like a $15 to $20 knife that will be passable. You can use that your entire life, but having a nice, like balanced professional knife just is gonna like, one, it's gonna like hold an edge longer, and I think ultimately like you can get better cuts out of a nice knife, and otherwise, and it also just enhances the experience of cooking. So I think like you can get a German knife, maybe Wusthof or Henkel or something like that, and those can be in the $35 to $100 range, I think. And those are really, really nice knives. And then I think the next step up from that would be like a Japanese steel, right? Now I think that there's German steel and Japanese steel on both levels, and you can get a shitty Japanese blade or a really super nice German blade. But I don't know. There's something about having a nice Japanese knife that just feels good, and they're beautiful, and they're pieces of art in themselves. And I've been on Corin, the website, a little bit. It's a knife shop in New York City, and I've gotten some knives off of there. I've gotten gifted some knives off of here, and we'll throw a link down in the description here to the website. But just really nice knives, and I think they're worth investing in for sure. And you can get a Japanese knife, around the same $100 to $200 range. I mean, you can spend a lot more than that, but But if you have, $100 knife or $150 knife, you'd be pretty happy with for a long time.
Yeah, a website I've bought a bunch of knives off of at this point. It's called Chef Knives to Go, and my like daily driver, I think I got that thing for like $85 on that website.
Nice.
Japanese knife, hand hammered. It's unique. If you bought two of the same ones, they would be obviously different from each other because they're like hand hammered, and so you can see the marks in the knife. So yeah, it's cool. I mean, and so many things nowadays are mass produced. Anytime you have something that's like handmade like that is just special. I love that knife, and yeah, definitely worth the investment. And if you don't have the money for that, like you were saying, like um, you can get a Henkel's or whatever. One like a lot of like cooks. It was my first knife. It was a Victor Knox,
Hmm.
or Forstner. I don't know. They're kind of the same exact knife. I think. I don't really know who owns who, but I've heard both. And I mean, those knives they're super sharp. They're easy to sharpen. They're easy to maintain, and they don't look the prettiest, but yeah, it's a professional quality knife, and it'll last you a long time.
Yeah. And if you are serious about looking at them, and I mean, I guess like for a chef knife, for like a daily driver, it's something that you're going to do everything with. I would probably look in the 8 inch range. You can get bigger knives than that. You can certainly get a 10-inch knife. You can get a 12-inch knife if you're wild. And I don't know what that knife is for, other than like practice, basically. Yeah.
Too big for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a 10-inch all day, but
Yeah. I think that like I like 10s, but like
I think most
eight
people are
inches
8. Yeah,
yeah, you have a little more control, especially if it's not something that you're doing every single day. Like a longer knife can be nice when you have a bunch of vegetables to process and you're dicing like a bunch of bell peppers all at the same time. Having that extra length is helpful. But I mean, if it's just in your home kitchen, I think 8 inches is pretty much the way to go.
definitely.
Yeah.
Very good. I've got a tip for after you're clean or you're cooking. Um, if you've like got a burnt sauce or sugars or anything in the bottom of your pan, so many people take their pan and like put it in the sink, throw some soap in there, hot water, and you like leave it to soak for the next 3 days or something until you decide to get back to it, and then it's gross and the water's cold. Everyone's been there. A lot of those things you can clean them very easily. Put some water in the pan, throw it back on the stove, turn the heat back on, take a wooden spoon preferably, and just gently rub the spoon, scrape the stuff stuck on the bottom of the pan. And it'll come up come up really easily, especially sugar or like burnt on whatever. It'll come up pretty damn easy. So save yourself the scrubbing. That's the other. I mean, if you put it in the sink to let it soak, like that shit's not all just gonna come up, and a lot of it will still be like carbonized, like stuck on the bottom of the pan, and you're sitting there like scrubbing like crazy.
It's just
Make your life easy.
Yeah.
Just throw it back on the stove. It comes up super easy, and you can also use that if it's that same method. If you're like searing short ribs or something like that, and you're taking them out of the pan and putting it into, say, your crock or whatever, you're gonna roast it, braise it in the oven, whatever you're gonna do. Take that same pan, use the same principle, add water, throw it back on the heat, and just scrape it up with a wooden spoon, and then you can use that liquid that's scraped on, as long as it was not like burnt, but the fond on the bottom of the pan, you can scrape that up and pour that into the stock, and that's like really, really good concentrated flavor that'll benefit your braise a lot. So yeah, don't stop leaving pots to soak for
Sure.
days on end in your sink.
Sure. And you're right, we've all done that. I mean, maybe obvious, maybe not obvious, but like just in general, a hot pan is way easier to clean than a cold one. Like, I mean, when I have the opportunity and I have something that like maybe I just cooked some pasta and strained it, and like I'll try to like scrub that out really quickly immediately after, and it's like literally like 10 seconds compared to waiting, letting it cool, and it's going to be another, I don't know. It's just way easier to do right away.
Even if you can just like, take a rubber spatula or something, get all the sauce as much out, and then hit it with a quick spray in the sink, just get, so you don't have just dried on pasta sauce in there. It's such a nightmare. So
Totally.
and it makes your cleanup not so bad. So do yourself a favor and get on the cleanup earlier
those dishes,
rather than later.
I like how you said gently massage the bottom of the pan.
I don't think I said massage. I think I said rub. But
I thought you said, didn't you say something about massage oil?
Yeah, that's...
And
yeah, that was before we started recording.
And lighting some candles, and yeah, I love that part.
That was just for you.
Oh.
All right.
Thanks for listening, y'all.
Thank you guys.
Follow us on socials at Whipped Cream Salmon Podcast. Is that right?
Yep. On Instagram.
I'll figure it out one day.
whippedcreamsalmon@gmail.com. Send us your idiot sandwiches. Let us know you love us.
We love you.
Stay creamy.
Stay creamy, y'all. Peace.